Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos friends. We're so excited to spend a few moments with you in Shabbat prayer and for reflection. That was Lisa Edwards, Congregation Kol Ami's extraordinary accompanist and pianist with Yedid Nefesh. And so now we are glad to welcome you to Shabbat from Congregation Kol Ami, West Hollywood, California. And Rabbi Max Chaikin is going to help us continue to usher in Shabbat, Kabbalat Shabbat, as we sing together his version of Hine Matov, which if you're following along in Mishkan Tefillah in the flip book, it's on page 100, and on page 128 in the hardcover Mishkan Tefillah.
Even though we're not together in person, it's great to be together here online. I hope you'll join with me singing Hine Matov. Hine Matov u'manayim, shever achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shever achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shever achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shever achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shever achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shever achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shever achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shever achim gam yachad. It is so good to be together.
We're going to light candles now. If you have Shabbat candles wherever you are, you can light your Shabbat candles as I light mine. Page 121 in Mishkan Tefillah, or page 2 and 3 in your flip book. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this space together in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. And if you have your Kiddush cup nearby, join me as we recite the Shabbat Kiddush. Page 5 in your flip book, page 123 in your Siddur. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava, uvratzon chinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, hihu yom techilah, למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מקומים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh Kodesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim, friends.
L'chaim tovim. L'chaim tovim. We're going to continue greeting the angels of Shabbat, singing Shalom Aleichem together. Page 24 in your flipbook, or page 142 in the full version of Mishkan Tefillah. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzitchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Friends, in our sanctuary in West Hollywood, we would normally take this moment to greet one another. We're going to encourage you to still do that wherever you are. If you are with us on Facebook Live, if you're with us on YouTube, if you're with us on our website, send a text message, write a comment, reach out to someone and wish them Shabbat Shalom. Or if you're lucky enough to be with a friend or a roommate or a family member, wish them Shabbat Shalom right now.
We make a special prayer for those who are essential workers, especially in this time of coronavirus. And so we say, O Holy One, we come to you as did our ancestors during times of crisis and fear. For those who suffer, who are in pain, may they be blessed with wholeness and strength. Send your blessing to the heroes of this moment, doctors and nurses, healthcare workers and scientists on the front lines of this pandemic, those whose holy work is to save as many lives as possible. Bless the work of their hands and their hearts. Protect them from illness and despair, exhaustion and overwhelm. And send your goodness to all of our essential workers who deliver food and stock the shelves, teach our children and otherwise put their lives on the line every day to bring as much normalcy as possible. Bless those who strengthen our local communities and ultimately the world, as we are all intrinsically connected one to another. We ask for your continued blessing upon all the earth's inhabitants. May all be sheltered under your grace, peace, and divine love. And let us all say, Amen.
Amen.
Continue now on page 34 in your flipbook, page 152. If you'll join me in the words that unite us as one holy family, the words of the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vahed. Let's continue as we chant the V'ahavta together. You can find that on pages 36 or 154. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי לך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, amen.
Let's continue, friends, with our prayer for redemption, our prayer, Bichamocha, that our people sang as we crossed the sea into the first footsteps of freedom. This is one that I hope you'll sing along wherever you are. It's one that we've been singing and getting into our rhythm with in West Hollywood, and we hope you'll join with us wherever you are. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot oseh peleh, nora tehilot oseh peleh. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la.
We turn now to the Hashkivenu prayer for peace and protection. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up our guardian to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel, and for your name's sake be our help. Shield us and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life, to peace, evermore. Blessed are you, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Amen. We continue in joy for this gift of Shabbat on page 44 of your flipbook, or 162 of Mishkan Tefillah. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. We're going to begin now our tefillah, a few words of meditation on page 46 of your flipbook, 164 of the full version. And then we'll hear some music from Lisa as we take a moment for the prayers of our heart or the prayers of the Siddur, the prayers of our tefillah. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha.
We take some moments now to add to our prayers for all those in need of healing, especially in this time of where our thoughts are on wellness and illness, the coronavirus epidemic, a pandemic around the world. We also think of so many people who are fighting other illnesses and emotional distress. And so we take a moment for this Mishaberach. Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, God and God of all of our ancestors, we ask for your healing presence to be near us, to be near all who call upon you. Tonight in our community, we're especially asking for healing prayers for Gary Ashland, Ricky Bander, Richard Bernard, Vivian Bernard, Marlene Bing, Mark Bittenson, Elaine Blatt, Jim Loomer, Dan Bennell, Ben Bregman, Bella Browning, Tammy Eliana, Eliza Koya, Del Cooley, Tino Felipe, Richard Frank, Ashley Gallagher, Shirley Glantz, Lori Glickman, Patricia Goss, Jack Haney, Chelsea Hughes, Christina Simone, Lynn McKinney, Lynn Ehrlich McCauley, Larry Mendelson, Fred Michaels, Bruce Morgan, Adela Palmer, Jeff Palmer, Lee Perlman, Carol Reback, Esther Richmond, Ivan Rosenberg, Loretta Rubenfeld, Aaron Schroeder, Michael Silverman, Henry Sommerfeld, Rosina Spitzer, Terry Taylor, Bob Weiner, and wherever you are, if you'd like to add a name aloud, or perhaps you need a prayer for healing and strength yourself, to recite your own name at this time. Grant refuat nefesh or refuat aguf, a healing of spirit and body, and bring about a refuah shlema, a complete healing. Baruch atah Adonai rofei cholim. Praise to you, God, who heals the sick, and let us all say, Amen.
Amen. Mi sheberach avotenu mikol habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Visheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom, dear friends, all of you watching, not only in our Southern California area, but around the country. We're glad that you're with us on these Friday nights. This week, our Torah readings is another double portion, Acharei Mot and Kedoshim together, deep in the heart of Leviticus. And these two Torah portions are at once the most reviled and the most loved, linked together. In Acharei Mot and Kedoshim, we have what is known as the Holiness Code, observances, behaviors, and actions associated with the demands that God makes of us to be holy. As it says in the beginning of Kedoshim, Kadosh Tihiyu, you shall be holy, because I, Adonai, your God, am holy. In Acharei Mot, instructions are given to Aaron following the death of his two sons. And we have there the arayot, the listing of sexual behaviors forbidden by the Torah. And in particular, a passage in Leviticus 18:22. A man shouldn't lie with a man as he lies with a woman. It is a to'eva. I use the Hebrew word to'eva. It's often translated as abomination or abhorrent. And this is where one of the roots of the problem comes. The misunderstanding of what this verse is really saying is rampant. To'eva is used at other times in the Tanakh, in the Bible. It does mean detestable, but it is equally applied to eating shrimp, divorce and remarriage to one's first wife. And it is to'eva to marry a non-Jewish person in the Bible. The abomination isn't the gay person, as some so-called religious people might have you believe. It is in the actions in the Torah that have to do with how the ancient Israelites were commanded to worship their God. This isn't a verse about homosexuality in Leviticus 18:22. It is a verse about the priesthood. In ancient pagan religions, one often went to the priest or priestess to engage in fertility rites with them. Since ancient Israelite culture had male priests only, This text is making it very clear about the ways we are not to engage with our priests. And we are not to utilize the same sacred sexual rites as were common to the Hittites and Babylonians or Egyptians or other ancient Near Eastern peoples. Ironically, this verse in Leviticus is saying, be different than all the other nations. Be queer by ancient Near Eastern standards. You see, it all depends upon how you look at it. And yet, this portion, Acharei Mot, this week, is combined with Kedoshim, one we turn to for constant guidance today. We even read chapter 19 of it on Yom Kippur afternoon in our congregations. It's filled with ethical ways to live our lives that are still applicable in our day and time. Don't put a stumbling block before the blind. Be fair in your weights and measures. Love your neighbor as yourself. So how can we make sense that in 1 week, this week, we read both something that offends our sense of right and wrong and something that affirms our justice and morality? The truth we know is life is filled with both blessings and curses, often in the exact same moment. For all of us sheltered in place now, we can look at this moment as a curse. The world is falling apart. There's a virus, there's economic havoc, and all of that is true. But at the same time, sheltering in place has allowed us to discover many wonderful things. Many of us are baking and cooking again. We're reconnecting with family members that we haven't connected to and friends that we haven't talked to in a long time. This time of being sheltered in place is clarifying for many of us what's really important in life. Protecting our health and those of our family and our neighbors. The same is true with our Torah. Our knowledge and learning of Torah is ever growing and ever evolving. God created within us the capacity to learn, to change, to assimilate new knowledge. And so we can even have a verse in the Torah that no longer makes sense in our day and time. The Torah, allows for slavery. We know that to be repulsive, abhorrent, an abomination. The Torah tells us to rise before the aged. And we know that our elders and seniors have much to teach us and deserve our honor and respect. There are blessings and curses, all in one thing, all in the Torah. It all depends upon how you look at it. There was an old man who lived in a tiny village. Although poor, he was envied by all for the beautiful white horse that he owned. Even the king coveted his treasure. People offered fabulous prices for the steed, but the old man always refused. The horse is not a horse to me, he would tell them. It's a person, it's my friend. How could I sell my friend? The man was poor. The temptation was great, but he never, ever sold that horse. One morning he woke up to find that the horse was missing from the stable. All the village came to see the old man. You old fool, they scoffed. We told you that someone would steal your beautiful horse. You're so poor. How could you hope to protect such a valuable animal? It would have been better, they said, if you had sold him. You could have gotten a princely sum for that horse. And now the horse is gone, and you have been cursed with misfortune, they said. The old man responded, don't speak so quickly. Say only that the horse is not in the stable. That's all we know. The rest is judgment. How can you know if I've been cursed or not? How can you judge, he said. But the people contested. Don't make us to be fools. We may not be philosophers, they said, but great philosophy is not needed to know what happened here. The fact that your horse is gone is a curse, they told him. The old man spoke again. All I know is that my stable is empty and the horse is gone. The rest, I don't know. Whether it be a curse or a blessing, I can't say, said the old man. All we can see is a fragment. Who can say what will come next? The people of the village laughed at the old man. They'd always thought the man to be a fool. If he wasn't, he would have sold the horse and lived off the money. Instead, he was a poor woodcutter living hand to mouth in the misery of poverty. And now he has proven that he was indeed a fool. 15 days later, the horse returned. He hadn't been stolen at all. He had run away into the forest. Not only had the horse returned, he'd brought with him a dozen wild horses. Once again, the people of the village gathered around the woodcutter and spoke, "Old man, you were so right. We were wrong. We thought that was a curse, but really, it was a blessing. Please forgive us," they said. The man responded, "Again, my friends, you go too far. Say only that the horse is back. State only that a dozen horses returned with him, but don't judge. How do you know if this is a blessing or not? For you see only a fragment. Unless you know the whole story, how can you judge? If you read only one page, how can you judge the whole book? All I have is a fragment," he said. "Maybe the old man is right," they said, but deep down they believed he was wrong. They knew it was a blessing. 12 wild horses returned with the horse, a little bit of work, and these animals could be broken and traded and sold for much money. Now the old man, the woodcutter, had only one son, and the young man began to train and break the wild horses. But after a few days, he fell from one of the horses and broke both of his legs. Once again, the villagers gathered around the old man and cast their judgments. "You are right," they said. "The dozen horses were not a blessing. They were a curse. Your only son has broken his legs, and now, in your old age, you will have no one to help you. You are poorer than ever," they said to the old man. But once again the old man spoke. "Don't go so far in your judgments. Say only that my son broke his legs. Who knows if it is a blessing or a curse? No one knows. We only have a fragment of the whole." Just a few weeks later, the country they lived in engaged in a war against a neighboring country. All the young men of the village were required to join the army, and only the son of the woodcutter was excluded because he was injured. The enemy was strong, and the people feared they'd never see their son again. Once again they gathered around the old man, crying and screaming because their son had been taken. "You were right, old man," they wept. "God knows you were right. This proves it. Your son's accident was a blessing. His legs may be broken, but at least he is with you. Our sons are gone forever." The old man spoke once again. "Why do you always draw conclusions? No one knows. Say only this. Your sons went to war and mine did not. No one is wise enough to know if it is a blessing or a curse. Only God knows." And the old woodcutter was content with what he knew and not disturbed by what he couldn't understand. Our Torah is sometimes difficult to understand, but let us not be disturbed. Rather, let us dig deeper together to honor tradition, to learn and to engage in new ways and new thinking, and most of all, to open our hearts to one another and commit together to seeking the divine in each and every human being. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Rabbi Egger, for that story and that interpretation of these powerful Torah portions this week. Shabbat Shalom to all of you joining us wherever you are joining us from. It is a pleasure to welcome you to our virtual sanctuary, and we hope to welcome you soon again in West Hollywood. We'd like to thank Susanna Peters tonight for sponsoring this streaming service in honor of Kol Ami's tech gurus, as she calls us, me, Rabbi Max Chaikin, and Dave Rubenstein in our office. If you would like to sponsor a program online or in honor or memory of someone, you can do so on our website, kol-ami.org. That's KOL-AMI.org. and you can click donate in the top right to do so. We have another very full week of programming coming up with many chances to stay connected over the next week. You can find the details, of course, on our website as well. But I will share some of the highlights right now. This evening in a Zoom webinar, we'll be welcoming Congressman Adam Schiff after services. Again, details on our website. That'll begin around 7:30. And tomorrow morning is the first Saturday of the month, so we have our Shabbat Awakening service, of course, streamed here online on our website, hopefully on Facebook and YouTube as well, if all the tech syndication works to our favor. And then at 11:30 tomorrow morning after services, we'll have drop-in hour with me and with Rabbi Egger, sort of like our oneg or our fellowship time, just a chance to reconnect with one another. Perhaps most importantly this evening, we are only 5 weeks away from our hashtag Kol Ami Stronger Together virtual gala, which will be Monday night, June 8th, online. You can read more at kol-ami.org/gala. But we are so excited to honor several fantastic honorees this year. We're awarding Joshua Finkel and Stephen Schmonis the Alan Rich Award for Exemplary Achievement in the Arts and Humanities. We are honoring LAPD Assistant Chief Beatrice Gurmala with the Shomer Tzedek Guardian of Justice Award. And we are honoring Jess Winfield with the Spirit of Kol Ami Award. All of these honorees have done incredible work and are so worthy of our love and celebration, as well as our support. So you can go to our website to make a gift in their honor, to take out an ad in our digital tribute journal. And of course, we would love if you would consider becoming a sponsor of this virtual gala. You can do it all on our website, and we can really use your support at this time of year. Later this weekend, we have Cantor Patty Linsky in the next of our virtual Virtuoso concerts. That's Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. on Zoom. And then next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, we have incredible opportunities. On Tuesday, we have the next in our member Glenn Rosenblum's Broadway series. This one is From Fiddler on the Roof to Hair. You won't want to miss it. And on Wednesday, Dr. Jane Drucker is leading the first of a two-part workshop. You can come to either or both. And it's called Writing Your Inner Journey. And Jane is a licensed coach, so I'm sure it'll be a wonderful chance to do some personal reflection on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Again, all the details on our website. Thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight if you're still with us. And of course, as you know, in these difficult times, staying connected is more important than ever. And so we would love and be honored if you'd consider making a gift, a donation on our website. Again, that's kol-ami.org, kol-ami.org. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We're in that period of time between Passover and Shavuot, looking forward to the time when we will celebrate together, receiving the Torah and the Ten Commandments once again. So we count the Omer during this period each and every day. Page 570 in your hardcover Mishkan Tefillah, and in the flip book, if you'll turn to page 264. Hineni muchanu mazuman lekayem mitzvat aseh shel sfirat haomer. I'm ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer. Blessed are you, Adonai, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to count the Omer. Hayom shlosha ve'esrim yom shehem shlosha shavuot u'shnei yamim. Today is the 23rd day of the Omer period, which is 3 weeks and 2 days. And together we say, Amen.
Amen.
We turn now to page 294 and 598.
This week, our congregation will be saying Kaddish in honor of the yahrzeit of Stephen Kreitzel, one of our temple members, Eva Rogalski, the mother of Dr. Eugene Rogalski, Estelle Egger, Rabbi Egger's mother. Irving Lax, father of Stephen Lax. Morris Wortman, grandfather of Jeffrey Wortman. David Siegel, father of Alan Siegel. Morris Rouse, grandfather of Karen Seitman. Robert Lapson, father of Charles Lapson. Benyahu Habibi, grandfather of Daniel Tarika. Blake Shapiro, friend of Jake Perlman. Irving Wyszynski, great uncle of Joshua Bobrowski. Bernard Levine, uncle-in-law of Karen Seitman. Nicholas Rodriguez, godson of Neil Zaslavsky. Richard Lenk, grandfather of Jane Drucker. Daniel Kaplan, grandfather of Leonard Slutsky. And Rose Elkins, the grandmother of Kim Bergman. We've been saying Kaddish in the past year for Lloyd John Ogilvy, Max Sains, Roz Dotson, Rose Green, Andy Wolf, Jeanette Kaufman, Charlotte Karen, Claire Finkel, Gilbert Weinbar, Sarah Rivka Seltzer, Dave Rudelhoffen, Anne-Marie Giambruno, Pedro Santiago, Devona Lewis, Leonard Irving Schurz, Betty Perry, Jennifer Bachner, David Slobodian, Vivi Davidson, Azrakam Milchan, Claire Cohen, Shel Rosenthal, Boris Miller, Chris Jacobs, Audrey Weiss, Ray Lopez, Bill Kokol, Thomas Nathan, Robert Barnett, Israel Irving Margolin, Nina Roths, and we note with sadness the recent deaths of Patricia D'Amico and Leonard Leibovitz.
We also note with sadness the death just this week of Rabbi Richard Levitin, uncle of Stuart Levitin, and of course Michael Finelli, who is the stepfather of Herb Schultz. Our hearts go out to all those who have lost someone as together we recite the Kaddish, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Divrach Yerutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. V'galav v'zman kariv v'imru amen.
Amen.
Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam u'me'omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudusha barichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tishbachata v'nechemata damiran b'yama v'imru amen.
Amen.
Hey Shlomo Rabba min Shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'kol yeshvei tevel v'yimru amen. May the source of peace and comfort to all of us who mourn and all of us who've been bereaved, and together we say amen.
Amen. We'll close in song on page 353 of your flipbook or 657 of your full version of Mishkan Tefillah. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, a prayer for peace in honor of Israel on her 72nd birthday this past week. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam Salam, Salam, Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam Salam, Shalom.
We wish each and every one of you a sweet Shabbat, a Shabbat filled with and strength and courage for the time ahead, a Shabbat filled with health and well-being and contentment. And we look forward to the time when we can embrace one another together again in physical space together. But in the meantime, we're so glad to embrace one another, echoing God's embrace of us. We wish one another good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.